What's going on, America? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Facebook? And all those other good places. Now, I know you're not used to seeing me here, and that is because my other, all right, got to double check and make sure the sound is right. That's because my other channel has been suspended. That's right, they suspended me for medical mis or disinformation from something that took place, a video that I did a long time ago. It has nothing to do with anything. Plus, it's not even medical misinformation because everything that I said was absolutely true. I have petitioned it and tried to fight back, but as of now, to no avail. Something has to give, though, when it comes down to YouTube and all of this garbage that's going on. Somebody said, "What's up, Kev?" Yeah, Ray. See, now this is the benefit, y'all, of subscribing to my alternative channel. Now, you know they're gunning for me, y'all. I mean, I've been telling folks, man, y'all really got to go ahead and subscribe. So now what y'all got to do is tell all the other folks that, dude, you should have subscribed. Because right now, I haven't even cracked 1,000. Now, that's crazy. You telling me that out of all the subscribers I have, all I'm asking is something simple for y'all just to subscribe to this channel. That's all I'm asking because of moments like this. So to make a long story short, no warning, I woke up, video that I did months ago. I guess now they just have these algorithms just programmed to go roaming around like the Terminator looking for stuff. And I was talking about, the you know what. And then they shut me down for medical misinformation and all of that. And I wrote a beautiful dissertation defending myself. But unfortunately, the low-level employee, it didn't matter. I mean, he has limited power or she has limited power. I forget, man or woman. Yeah, got to go up the chain of command. That's out of my control. But I do understand your sorrows and your frustration. No, you don't. No, you don't, man. So until I am reinstated back over there, you'll have to check me out from here. And I hope the word spreads, and I hope people will start subscribing to this channel. Now, one thing I did learn is when I was trying to go live yesterday on this channel, it made me wait 24 hours. And I didn't even know that was a situation. I'm like, what do you mean I got to wait 24 hours? Oh, yeah, the first time you ever subscribe, you got to wait 24 hours. And I was burning up. But you know what? It's all good, though. It's all good. This too shall pass. Now, I don't have all my gadgets and my music and all of that stuff set up because I want to get through this kind of quickly. Want to jump right into it because this is all about being aboard the Trump train. Ding, 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 ding. That's right, y'all. Might have to make a whole separate video about that. Now, people are logging in. I'm seeing them saying, hello from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Ding, 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 ding. Raleigh, North Carolina. Ding, ding. We need James Brown. Florida. All of that mess. So let's go ahead and get into it because, yeah, things are getting pretty crazy. Hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms, and please share the message. Got to subscribe over here so we can keep the show going. Keep it going, just in case they try to snodge me, okay? I don't like being snodged. All right, so Easter just passed. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. I wasn't able to go live on Easter, but I do have some highlights that took place and some memories as well. Let's check it out.
Hippity hopping Easter's on its way.
Oh, well, look at that. Thanks, Easter Bunny. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Raggedy Patty.
Who's under here?
Y'all remember
No
Raggedy
more bunny
Patty?
business. That's the line we worked on. Do you guys like it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly read Brown Bear, so you're all not soaking wet.
And they're not going to let me read it all.
Yeah, and that's probably a good idea. Y'all remember this? This was the best Easter gift ever. Watching Creepy Sleepy be exposed for the fraud he is. Watching them try to pretend that there's nothing wrong with this man. That was a great Easter present, man. Yep. So he already jumps in and starts making excuses for his dead brain.
You can start us
She's
off.
miserable.
Can you? Oh, here.
Can I
I'll
read
let
backwards?
it read the first page. Go ahead.
He gets a cameo
Go ahead.
in his own show.
Brown bear, what do you see? I see a bird looking at me.
Now, does that man sound like Bismarck or what? Brown bear, what do you see? I see you looking at me. That dude sounds like he's a sober drunk right about now. It's obvious that he's slurring his words, and it ain't because he's been sipping. It's because that brain is not firing on all 8 cylinders. So he gets the shortest cameo in his own movie ever, and then handed it over to Jill.
Now you got it.
Now you got it.
Teacher, what do you see?
Joe Biden,
see
really
children
creepy.
Looking at me.
Whoa. Yay, children.
Y'all hear that? Whoa, yay, children. Yeah, you know what? Jill, you stay here. I'm going into the crowd to do some sniffing. I'll be right back. Joe, sit down and shut up. Oh, yeah, forgot you didn't allow me to do stuff. So now he has to sit there and look at the children from afar.
Oh. Yay, children.
Yay, children.
It's kind of creepy.
He is cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, just stay.
What do I do?
Sit still, just sit. Don't move.
Can you believe it? Can you believe this is the man that's responsible for running the country and supposed to be able to handle big time negotiations with like Chi and Pootie and all of them? And that man has to sit still with the book in his hand. He's the book holder. So the president is the book holder, and Joe Biden's husband sitting next to him is the quarterback right about now. And she telling me I gotta sit here and don't move. Oh, remember this classic. Who's in that suit? Yeah. Who's in that suit? I want to know. See, who's in that suit? Is it Joe Biden? Who is it? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Uh-oh. What the heck is that thing? Now, does that man look like he knows what's going on right there? Did he look like he knew that somebody was going to roll up and tell him, get your butt over there? He looked like he saw a real live rabbit that's that tall. Man, never seen a rabbit that big. Scared me half to death. Joe, that's not a real rabbit. It's a human in there. What? So let's continue because this was last Easter. I don't think he's improved this Easter.
They're obstructing our...
Now, you know what's sad about that? You have to realize that is somebody in that suit that their whole task is to keep tabs on Joe. Now, that's the sad part about it, because you have to think like this. If I was hired to just play the role of the Easter Bunny at the White House little celebration, I don't have the authority to walk over to Joe, tap him and say, get your butt over there. Think about that. Somebody who knows Joe, that everybody around him is going, yes, we got the Easter Bunny on. He's on cue. Absolutely. Yeah. We won't attack him. We won't shoot him. See, because anybody else would have walked up and started going, hey, Joe, over there. They would have been tackled so quickly by Secret Service, would have made your head spin. They'd be like, today there was an attack on the president by the notorious Easter Bunny bandit. There was a close call. He went over and he grabbed the president, and all of a sudden Secret Service took him down. But this bunny has privileges other Easter bunnies don't have. This bunny was able to go over and shake Joe and point him in the right direction. Could it be that Easter bunny in that costume was Jill, Joe's husband, or somebody, Raggedy Patty, but it is somebody in that suit that was assigned to Joe because Joe is slow. That's why. Oh, boy. Let's continue, y'all.
Investigation, Brett. We have a constitutional duty to get to the facts, particularly when you have a district attorney interfering with the most important election we have, which is the election of the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States.
Whoa, now that's my man Jim Jordan right there. Now, it's obvious that this prosecutor up in New York, Fat Albert, is responsible for trying to interfere with our elections by interrupting Trump with this nonsense. This case that everybody is going, this is bootleg. We all know it's bootleg. And then this fat dude got the nerve to try to reverse it and sue Jim Jordan and all of them because you're interfering in an investigation. Well, they had to, because we just saw Joe be scared by the Easter Bunny and read only a 1.5 second line out of the book. So, if they do let Joe run There's no way in the world that Joe can compete. So what they got to do is remove Trump off the board at any cost, meaning even if Fat Albert got to go down with one of the worst disgusting moves ever in politics. This is without a doubt election interference. And then he got the nerve to get mad that Congress want to talk to him. Yeah, that's like when I was a principal. Kid in the middle of the hall acting a fool, done pulled the fire alarm, loud, cussing, and I opened my door and say, hey, man, come in for a minute. I got to talk to you. For what, man? What do you mean for what? You got to be, you're out here acting a fool. Everybody knows that you're out here acting a fool. And when you see me go, come here, I got to talk to you. You get mad at me. Same thing. These folks are now being called up there to Congress, and he's mad that he even got to go, that they would even call him. Now, why would he be upset about that? Could it be that Fat Albert doesn't have a logical, rational reason to explain to Congress why he opened up this garbage? I think that's what it is. He's like, man, I ain't going up there. They will eat me for breakfast, like Tony Montana said, when he was about to go to war with Sosa. And his boy say, Tony, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do? We're going to go to war. That's what we're going to do. Going to eat that salsa for breakfast. Yeah, but he had no idea that salsa was already all up in his mix. Same thing. So these dudes need to get in his mix. Don't get up off of him. Don't let Fat Albert intimidate you. Don't let him muscle you out of making sure you send him about 25 subpoenas, hold him in contempt, do everything that the Democrats would do, however, with justification. See, that's the difference. They don't do theirs with justification. When we do these things, it's justified. Let's continue hearing about this, Jimmy.
And understand what happened here. Alvin Bragg used federal funds to indict a former president for no crime. And then when we ask questions about it, when we want to investigate, he takes us to court. And he takes us to court because we want to talk to someone who left the DA's office a year ago, who went out and wrote a book on this very subject, did all kinds of interviews, was pushing to go after President Trump before he got there, while he got there, when he left, he wrote a book about it, and we're not allowed to talk to him to do our duty. They're obstructing our constitutional duty to do oversight.
Now, isn't that amazing that the crooks who put together all of these schemes somehow seems to be immune to the consequences of it? Somehow, you know, none of these subpoenas, none of these requests for information ever comes through when it comes down to us trying to get it out of them. They are just dug in to the point where they say, so what? I mean, yeah, I got the subpoena, and yeah, it's kind of like them parking tickets you get. I mean, speeding tickets, not speeding tickets, the toll in Pennsylvania. I don't know why in Pennsylvania my money is no good anymore. Okay, it's no good anymore. I used to go up to Pittsburgh and go through the toll. All right, let me see. How much is it? The $2.30. Now they don't even allow you to do that. It's just a picture of your dang on license plate. And about 3 days later, you know, a little bill shows up at your crib. Man, I get that mess up. Whatever. Yeah, now I'm sure it's going to catch up with me at some point. However, if they would have gave me the option to pay it right there, they wouldn't have to be harassing me. Every time I get one of them, flip it over my shoulder. Yeah, whatever. See you next time when I go through the toll. One day they probably gonna have a trap set up for me. Here he comes. Bring out the things that bust his tires. You know, blow my tires out. We finally got you. You owe $700,000. All right, here we go. Because Kennedy has something to say about that too.
What's your reaction to this news this afternoon? What do you think of it?
Pre-committing the issue of whether Mr. Bragg should be called before Congress. I've watched Mr. Bragg. It's clear he is not exactly Oliver Wendell Scalia. My guess is he is scared to come before Congress. I watched Mr. Bragg's.
He is scared. You know why? Because he's a chicken. That's what he is, a chicken. Cuckoo-cha. Cuckoo-cha. He's a chicken. That's what he is. Caw, caw, caw. He's a chicken. He's a chicken. Chicho, chicho. That's what he is. He's a chicken. A fat one, too.
Press conference after he announced his indictment. He was not impressive. I have read his indictment. Legal scholars much more qualified than I have criticized it as being an inferior document.
Make it plain,
It looked to me like as a legal product, someone knocked over a urine sample. My guess is Mr.
What? So Kennedy called his whole case a urine sample? Oh, I love Kennedy. That's why I love him, man. That's right. Yeah, he brings it home. See, when you get his age, them old timers just say stuff. They don't care. Yeah, you're on sample. So you're telling me Fat Albert's whole case smells like Essence of Iran by Fat Albert. Like it's just wearing a full-blown Iran suit. That's how bad he smells? Essence of Iran by Fat Albert. Let's continue.
Bragg will not try this lawsuit himself. A
Why
good
not?
criminal defense attorney, based on what I've seen
What?
so far, will take his head off. So he doesn't want to be naked and alone, not literally, but figuratively, in front of a congressional committee having to answer tough questions. That's my assessment.
Yeah. I mean, now what we want to do is build our case against Fat Albert, okay? As he sits there, looking like Humpty Dumpty who sat on a wall. This is when he was running. Now, in what point do you say, okay, how can you be a prosecutor and before you even get in office, you're threatening to go after certain people? But listen to his justification of why. Now, this is the man that we are supposed to be believing that he's on the up and up. He's fighting crime. He's doing it by the book, man. That's right. He's cracking down. He's making sure that everybody is accountable equally under the law, except for the criminals. Okay. So here he is, some receipts of his motive before he ever got in office.
Whoever has this job, are they going to convict Donald Trump?
I'm the candidate in the race who has the experience with Donald Trump. I was the chief deputy in the attorney general's office. We sued the Trump administration over 100 times for the Muslim travel ban, for family separation at the border, for shenanigans with the Senate.
For shenanigans. You got that one word right. You sued him for all of those shenanigans. You sued him because he was applying the law. You sued him so that y'all could break the law. That's like the criminals suing the bank for not letting them rob. I'm upset about it. I got a robbing condition. You ain't never heard of it. It's the robitis. And I was born with it. It's greater than me. I'm a natural born robber. And by you stopping me from robbing banks, you're preventing me from living my truth. You're trying to unexist me. And you're trying to completely eradicate all robbers. And it's greater than us. We award the defendant. See, this is the kind of nonsense. So let me understand. Trump wants to shut all that mess down to keep our country safe. And your butt was suing him because of it. See, this is what the Democrats are about.
So I know how to litigate with him. I also led the team that did the Trump Foundation case. So I'm ready to go wherever.
Nothing on that Hillary Foundation, huh? The Clinton Foundation? Didn't want to look into that though, did you? Can it be more obvious that these folks do not play by the rules of the law? I mean, all of that corruption laying out and they just walk through it. It's like a crime scene. You come in as the DA. All right, what happened here? Well, sir, I think it's pretty obvious. There's lots of bodies, blood. There's all kind of fingers chopped off. There's several bullets laying around. And that guy over there is still in the corner with his gun in his hand. Well, I think you've assessed it absolutely wrong. In fact, the real crime is that over there. I'm going to walk right through all of this carnage, go over there, because somebody, shot the guy for breaking in their house and killing everybody. So some guy comes in and shoots him. And now I want to focus on that. I walk past all the carnage and I go over and go after the guy. Why'd you shoot that guy? Because he just murdered like 15 people. I had to stop him. You do understand that. Well, see, you violated his rights. That man has a right to kill. See, this right here is the way they operate. So all of this carnage that the Democrats have left everywhere, Joe Biden, carnage everywhere. Hillary Clinton, carnage everywhere. Let me dodge, tip, tulips through all of that and then go after the Trump Foundation. All of these lawsuits resulted in nothing. They were witch hunts.
The facts take me and to inherit that case. And I think, it'd be hard to argue with the fact that that'd be the most important, most high profile case. And I've seen him up front and seen the lawlessness that he can do.
See what I mean? I've seen him up front and seen the lawlessness that he can do. What lawlessness? Everything he did as president was lawful. But lawless to the Democrats is not adjusting to their goals, their agenda, being a globalist, not being corrupt and evil and pocketing money that somehow you just acquired being a civil servant. These things to them are lawless. None of these folks made a living like Trump did. They're politicians. If anybody should be questioned about corruption and lawlessness, it should be the man or woman who are multimillionaires but don't sell any products, don't employ no one, just magically, somehow, on $180,000 salary a year, you flipped it and turned it into $200,000. Whereas Trump can show all of the stuff he built, all of the employees he have. These dudes are politicians for nothing except to get rich and be in power and keep it that way as long as they can. And that's why Trump is a huge threat to them. And yet he's talking about lawlessness.
You believe it should happen?
I believe we have to hold them accountable. So,
for what?
So yeah, you are
Here
right.
comes.
We got two
Here
standards
comes.
of justice: Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, being a rich old white man.
Now you hear that? Gonna bring in race. You want a guy like this trying your case? First of all, he brought up Harvey Weinstein. He brought up Jeffrey Epstein, all friends of your folks in your party. That's it. The only reason those two right now is in jail because they got too hot. The heat was on them and they had to put a Robert De Niro in heat. You know what? There's a flip side to that coin. Never get attached to anything that you can't walk away from in 50 seconds flat if the heat comes around the corner. That's what they did. They had to cut those dudes loose. But nonetheless, here he is throwing them out there and then throws Trump in the same category as those folks. Throw him in there and then got the nerve to say, rich, upper class white men. What does that got to do anything with it? I mean, see, this is the garbage, man, that if you listen to what they're saying, you will find out they're activists and they are using Marxist conflict theory. They are race baiters and they're using that as a baseline to go after somebody, not the law, not whether they're guilty or innocent, not the data, the facts, the evidence. No. See, it's all about the fact that they're rich, upper class white men that gets away with it too often. Humpty Dumpty here needs to fall off the wall.
And has allowed you to fade accountability in Manhattan. That includes Trump and his children. So I've seen
Trump and the children. No evidence whatsoever. Just at that point, he wasn't a district attorney, but I guess he was trying to become the DA for that area. But just straight throw it out there. Trump and his whole family, no evidence. So maybe I could go ahead and start smearing Humpty Dumpty. This guy right here is an extortionist. He's a domestic terrorist. Because he's holding our whole republic hostage by going after Donald Trump unnecessarily. He's a partisan. He's unhealthy. He probably has cholesterol issues. And I wonder if he gets his cholesterol checked. And I'm pretty sure that what flows through his veins is gravy. That's what I'm pretty sure. Now, I cannot confirm, but I cannot deny these accusations. Unbelievable.
Pattern of lawlessness over 20 years. And so I'm inclined to believe all I see in the public domain and know that and believe that there's a path forward there to make a case.
They picked up a new slogan.
Oh, so let's hear what the people in New York feel about Fat Albert. Hey, Rudy. Okay, here's a lady. Yeah, I bet you she's going to be talking about how we need to focus all our attention on Donald Trump and his corrupt family and their money dealings and stuff like that.
No one is above the law.
Yeah, that's what Fat Albert said.
If no one is above the law, then I don't understand how Alvin Bragg could dismiss murder and gang assault indictments against two of the people involved in the murder of my son.
What? The same Fat Albert we saw come out and do some bootleg press conference talking about we're going to hold him accountable because we want everybody to know in New York that nobody's above the law and we don't want to set a bad precedent. Are you kidding me? And that's just one victim. And she's black, so you can't use the whole, she's a white nationalist. This woman right here, I don't know if she supports Trump or not, but she got common sense to know that this bootleg prosecutor right here, this district attorney, is out there doing what they do best. Hypocrisy! Dropping that hypoc all over the streets. and forgot all of the folks that are victims of his light on crime policies, as you know who probably calls him up. Listen, I donated $1 million to you. Make sure you implement my diabolical scheme. You already know. That dude has no choice. He done sold his soul to Diablos / George of the Jungle.
Because it seems to me that murderers are above the law in New York City. So all of this, no one is above the law, nonsense is just that.
Thank you. Finally, we get somebody who knows how to make sense out of nonsense. Thank you, lady from New York. So your son was killed by 3 gang members and only one of them did some time. Yeah. And I bet you he was upset that one was, found guilty. Darn it. I tried to save all 3 of them, but at some point you gotta. This the same guy who had a dude locked up for defending his own life after getting shot 4 times in the head once, fights, gets the gun from the dude, shoots the guy, he wakes up, handcuffs. This the same DA that's talking about, I'm tough on crime, we're going after Trump. If this isn't the most obvious bootleg corruption, I don't know what is. And frankly, I hope they are able to somehow expose this, because this is the true election interference. Not just, this is one of many, y'all. One of many. They've been interfering ever since Trump stepped on the scene. In so many ways, the media has played their part in interfering. Social media has played their part in interfering. All of these spies and lawyers and prosecutors and people just drumming up mess and whistleblowers, all of them have played their part in election interference. And I'm glad she's calling out this man's hypocrisy.
It's nonsense.
It is nonsense.
We see it every single day.
In
the Black and brown communities, every day, all day.
Every day, all day? What? So from 9 to 5. So these folks are shooting, robbing, looting, stealing, raping, all of that, drug dealing. And this happens every day. And instead of focusing your attention on that, you're focused on going after Trump. So let me get this straight. I get woken up in the middle of the night, smoke all around. I jump up and I'm like, man, everything's on fire. It's all on fire. But you know what? I got to go ahead and risk my life to go get that one picture from my childhood right there. That's what it is. I'm focused on that. I'm not focused on getting out of here. I'm not focused on the fire all around me. Focus on that one picture. And they're going, dude, you're not recognizing the dangerous situation here, and you just, all you focus on is just the picture? Yeah, it's important. It's important. Same thing with this guy. All of that crime that's going on, and this guy's chasing Trump. Not doing his job whatsoever. And he should be kicked out. Now, see, here's the bad part about this. I almost have no mercy for liberal cities. Now, who knows? It could be the fact that their elections are just rigged. But when they do stupid stuff like I saw in Chicago, where you get rid of one horrible, raggedy behind mayor and replace her with a raggedy-er mayor. That's the stuff that I say, you know what, that's insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. The problem with this, though, is this dude has stepped out of his lane and he's trying to bring federal charges, and it ain't even a federal charge issue. He shouldn't be able to go and just subpoena the president. Anybody at that case, if that's the case, can just subpoena the president from whatever. Youngstown, little small town like this, the district attorney, you know what, I need Biden, I'm about to indict him for something. It doesn't work like that. But these folks, though, they keep bringing in people who are destroying not only the country, but their everyday living conditions. Now, it could be, like I said, maybe it's just rigged up like that, which that's a possibility. But good grief, at what point do you start to say, maybe the problem isn't white nationalism? Huh? Considering black folks run our district.
Everyone is above the law. They're not even making it to the DA's office. The cases are not even being prosecuted, period. We see crime rising out of control every single day. And Alvin Bragg is doing absolutely zero.
Zero. So he has nothing to brag about. except for I'm going after Trump. Because he sure can't brag about his record on crime. I mean, it's like, what, 40%? All the other criminals, I guess, just beat the rap somehow. So the only rich white man that needs to be, prosecuted is this one right here.
I've got news for my MAGA Republican friends.
News for MAGA Republican.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
I'm not going to let them undo the progress we've made. I've been determined to make things in this country again, to build manufacturing capacity in America. What? Some folks didn't believe we could do that.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Did he take a plagiarized speech from Trump? I mean, these are Trump things that he did. China won't be taking advantage of us. Not on my watch. Yeah, Kim Jong-un won't be shooting rockets. Little rocket man better cut it out. All of these things. Solomon Grundy got to look up in the sky because we blew him up with a drone. At Baghdadi running through that cave, Putin and farting and spitting and all of that, losing his sandals, using his kids as human shields. He's done. He died. He died like a dog. These are things that I heard come out of Trump and some Republicans. But what is this guy describing? Not on my watch. They're not going to undo the things I've done. What have you done? You undid all the good things. So maybe he's talking about they're not going to undo all of the horrific things that we've done. Not on my watch. We worked hard to destroy the country in this record-breaking time. He got to be talking about that.
We made it. We made no bones about it.
Not on my watch. It's been on his watch now for several years. We're relying on China to make just about all of the important things this country needs. That was President Biden.
Yeah, sleep at the wheel. Not on my watch. President Biden. What? Ice cream. Oh, wait. Okay, back to not on my watch. Listen, I'm isolating punish China, okay? Oh, wait, no, true international depression. No, it was me and Chi out in the Himalayas, something like that. Anyway, my $1.5 billion deal. But not on his watch, as China is having their way on Joe's watch. Flying balloons, big ones, slowly moving across our whole country on his watch.
Speaking at a power plant in Minnesota yesterday, Biden is touting a new $1 billion investment pledge from engine maker Cummins, while also taking a shot at so-called MAGA Republicans.
Yeah.
He claims they will hurt U.S. manufacturing.
What?
Joe, this president continues to rewrite or tries to rewrite history.
As all Democrats
In fact,
do.
it's been the Republicans who've been saying, made in America, put America first.
Yeah.
And it's actually the MAGA Republicans who say that.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me. How they take our slogans, they take our policies only in name and in theory, and then just automatically apply it to themselves. And nobody's brought more jobs back to this country than I have. What? I didn't do that? They were just returning from our lockdowns and stuff. Okay, never mind. The people are dumb that votes for us. They won't even catch it. That's what they do. Yeah, just like they just out of nowhere decided it wasn't us, this defunding the police. It was the Republicans. Now, the sad part is that garbage works on their very highly uneducated, mis- and disinformed voter base. Unreal. They was talking about that garbage for 4 years, defunding the police, and then out of nowhere just came out and said, wasn't me. Like Eddie Murphy. Eddie, what are you talking about? I saw you right there in the bed with her. Wasn't me. Maybe it wasn't you. See, that's how their voters respond. It's unreal. And they get away with it all the time. Leave all type of racist comments down through Joe's whole political history. And then when he runs for president, none of that even means anything to all of the hypersensitive race-fighting people. And I'm saying, you don't remember him saying those things and doing those things and all of that? No? Okay. Tara Reid's still out there trying to get her Me Too moment. And she can't even find no Me Too from the people who invented Me Too. Still can't get it. And their voters just overlook it like it's nothing.
Talk about, so you've got this book, Get Trump. And of course, I know you've had a lot of
legal scholar
thoughts about the current case in New York. What have you seen? We've now had a few days. We've seen, of course, what Alvin Bragg has come out with.
Garbage.
What's been your reaction?
Well, he labored mightily and produced a mouse called Mickey. It's a Mickey Mouse case. There's nothing to it. Let me give you the theory of the misdemeanor prosecution before we can get to the felony. The misdemeanor prosecution is that Donald Trump paid $130,000 to assure that a woman, Stormy Daniels, didn't reveal her allegation that she committed adulterous sex with Donald Trump. The purpose of the payment was to keep it quiet. Bragg says, however, he then should have put it in his public corporate forms describing exactly why he paid $130,000.
Now that's counterproductive. Why do something that's supposed to be shh, but then have to disclose it? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Nobody has ever done that, but Alvin Bragg all of a sudden decides. So now he's two dang on cartoon characters right now. He's Fat Albert, hey Rudy, and now he's Mickey Mouse, hey Pluto. He's both of them. Let's see if we can find another character that he is.
Has anybody ever in the history of hush money or non-disclosure agreements ever then disclosed the reason? From the time Alexander Hamilton paid hush money to Mrs. Reynolds back in the 18th century, nobody has ever revealed the reason for doing it. Hamilton eventually did it because he was extorted again, claiming the money came from Treasury funds.
So basically, extortion made him have to come out and say, okay, fine. Since y'all trying to say that I stole this from the Treasury funds, I'm going to go ahead and have to clear my name by telling you that I had to pay this for hush money. Same thing with Trump right here. Nothing to do with his campaign. And yet they're trying to pin this garbage on him. Now, if folks that have enough common sense to see this for what it is, I do not understand, whether you're Republican or Democrat, how you can support that. A party that would support this has to be a corrupt party. You don't want folks running your country that operates like this. If I was being a conservative, if I saw Republicans doing things like I see these Democrats doing, you have to think to yourself, well, why would I want to support that? Because what would happen if they flipped it one day on me? If they're evil enough to do this to our own fellow countrymen, call them MAGA, ultra MAGA, domestic terrorists, extremists, saying things like, you know what, this is the dang on pandemic of the unvaccinated, dividing the country like they do, abusing their power like they do, going after all of our civil liberties like they do. Why would I ever want to put a regime like that in power? I mean, at some point you got to ask yourself, if I'm not in that group, I'm pretty much vulnerable to what they're doing to my perceived enemy right now. It might be cute right now as it's being directed towards Donald Trump. But what happens when I get out of line? This is the stuff that people don't think about. What happens when I disagree with them? Will I now be thrown in that group over there too? Of course you would. They do it all the time.
But in general, when you pay hush money, the reason is to keep it quiet. But Bragg says, no, if you pay hush money, you then have to disclose it on corporate forms.
Counterproductive.
I've challenged him to find a single case in history where anybody has been prosecuted for failure to disclose the reasons or the basis for a hush money payment. He can't do it. And he looked in the camera and said, oh, this is our bread and butter. We do this all the time. No, you don't. You never do it. It's never done. You invented this crime. What happened is he ran for office, promising to get Trump. You know, my title, Get Trump, is not so creative or original. It comes from the campaigns of Letitia James, the Attorney General.
I remember her.
And Bragg, the district attorney. He promised to get them. He gets elected. He then rummages through the statutes. He can't find anything.
Nothing?
So he says, I'm not going to get them. My predecessors didn't get him.
So he gave up on it until probably Georgia the Jungle called him. Yes, I know this. You drop the indictment against Trump. Don't make me come and sucker your blood. Yeah, until somebody got to Fat Albert and said, get your butt back out there. I don't care if you embarrass yourself. I don't care if this falls to pieces. We got to do something to try to stop this man. So he's getting destroyed right now with this whole case and argument.
I'm not going to get him. His assistants quit. New Yorkers have a backlash. They attack him. They're furious. The New York Times is critical. And then he changes his mind. All right, I'll find something. But he couldn't find anything, so he made it up. Basically, it's a made-up, trumped-up charge.
Wow. Now, that's coming from a real scholar right there that's not even a fan of Trump. So if he's getting taken apart right here, imagine when they go to trial. Now, unless they got one of the most corrupt juries, which they probably do, the fact that they even agreed to indict him, then we got the judge and all of that stuff. But even with all of that, they're not going to be able to stop him, even though they're willing to go through some drastic means to try. But as you see, this is a recurring theme in the Democrat Party. Y'all remember that ugly chick from Detroit? You know what? We're going to go in there and we're going to impeach the MFer. For what? Man just, was in office for like a half a year, and out of nowhere, she gets in Congress, and her opening statement is, we're going to go in there and impeach the MFer. Didn't say because or why. My whole motive is just to go in there and impeach him. Yet I can come up with probably about 10 legitimate reasons that Biden and his whole crew should be impeached.
What is the danger? What's the potential damage you see in a case like this going forward?
I think Republicans will do the same thing. When they have Republican DAs, they're going to start targeting and going after Democrats. And we're going to get to a system whereby first you find the man and then you discover the crime. And that's what the head of the KGB said to Stalin, show me the man and I'll find you the crime.
I'm reading over here on Facebook. They said, can't find me on YouTube. Right after this show, I'm going to paste and copy the link to this channel in that chat right over here, my YouTube chat. Okay. For some reason, it's not, even when I Googled my own self, when I typed in my own channel, it didn't come up. So I don't know if it hasn't built up enough momentum to recognize that name. All kind of other stupid stuff come up. I might change it. Honestly, I'm toying around with it. Not the channel, but the name, to make it set apart to where you gotta type in a keyword. And it's like, there's no other word out there like that. So darn it, fine. Let's go ahead. Let them see it. But anyway, let's continue.
It'll apply only to men. It'll apply to women, to men, to people who are political opponents. And what we're seeing is the weaponization of our criminal justice system, which is a terrible, terrible danger to all Americans. Today it's Trump, tomorrow it's a Democrat. Day after tomorrow it's your Uncle Charlie and your niece. And nobody is going to be safe from prosecutors. First, we ought to change the ethical rules. No prosecutor categorically should ever be allowed to run for office on the promise to get somebody. That should be unethical. That should be disbarable.
Exactly. But see, here's the problem. Democrats are open and arrogant with their corruption and their evil. These are some of the dumbest and worst criminals and evil folks that I've ever seen. Now, it could be that they're just bold because they know they got everything on lockdown, and they're at that point now where they ain't even got to hide it. They're like, hey, man, right now we got all the power. So we will be very open with our corruption and our evil, and premeditated too. Yeah, when I get in, I'm going after this guy. For what? For being that guy. That's it. Yeah, just for being that guy. We don't like that guy. So I'm going to go after that guy. Now, they might be at that level where they just like, man, shoot, we just that corrupt. Or they could be corrupt but dumb. That's the worst combo, to be evil dumb or dumb evil. Like these younger folks who's doing stupid stuff. I was watching a case the other day where these two young girls, 18 and one is 20, working at an elderly facility responsible for elderly people who have Alzheimer's. And what do? They're going to live stream them abusing the elderly lady. Full-blown live stream, cussing at her, getting reckless, yelling, telling her to do this. And I'm saying, you do realize you're recording your crimes? And then shocked when the feds bust in and take them away. 18 and 20, life done. And they deserve it. But they deserve the dumb award too. See, because they were evil and dumb. They didn't even attempt to hide the crimes. Same thing with the Democrats. At this point, it's like, man, we ain't even trying to hide our crimes. You know, we will leave that mess out in the open all the time, and nobody will do nothing to us. Like right now, we just found out that Joe Biden sent the dang on FBI to raid Mar-a-Lago and yet lied about it. Yeah, we didn't know nothing about it. We found out about it the day that it happened. Just like he didn't know nothing about the investigation against Michael Flynn. He didn't even know anything about it. Then we find out his nasty corrupt butt was sitting right in the meeting with Obama and the rest of them trying to plot to take down Michael Flynn. Just like he had no idea about his son's business dealings. And now we got a whistleblower that just came out and said, I was on the jet. I got all the goods. He went there plotting to set that whole situation up. And nothing's happening. Man said, I went to the FBI and told him, let's see what happens. Nothing, because they had that laptop for about 6 years and nothing. They've been investigating Hunter Biden for like 6 years, but yet nothing. See, this is the stuff that makes me want to lose my crap. But I'm trying to remain a civilized citizen. Let's continue.
No prosecutor should ever run on the promise to get anybody.
What
That's
about
unfair,
presidents? I
and
know
that's what
that
happened.
President Trump, certainly, I'm thinking back to the first election.
And he
with the
should have
lock
did
her up.
this.
Was that just rhetoric? That's a very different situation, obviously.
Well, look, I think it overstates it, to say the law is corrupt. There are corrupt elements within the law, and they can be cured. This is an easy fix.
Easy.
Don't allow prosecutors to run to try to get somebody. Don't allow prosecutors to target people. You must find the crime. Justice Jackson, the greatest attorney general in our history, warned his prosecutors, saying any prosecutor can rummage through the statutes and regulations and find something to blame anybody on.
And this is the point of part of my show tonight. When you give evil people this much power, control, authority, and the ability to surveil your citizens, and they abuse that, that's a problem. Because right now, we are under attack. These folks are putting together all kind of stuff to set us up and put us in a category that will further open up justifying them spying on us and labeling us and all of that stuff. Now, that's a problem, because if you are at the top of that food chain and we trust in you to be fair, and there's nobody above you that can hold you accountable, and you just start coming up with all kind of stuff, all kind of new definitions of hate speech, all kind of new labels, all kind of new whatever. And here I am, Mr. Joe Smo, and I pop up on your radar because I might have said red pill, and everybody's like, oh, we got us another one. Now let's go ahead and go through his life with a fine-tooth comb. Now you do realize, if we could read people's minds, we could find dirt on everybody. That's why God didn't make us, clairvoyant. Humans can't handle that type of information about other humans. Only God can handle that. You don't want to be inside somebody's mind. You don't want to be that fly on the wall, constantly listening to everything that they do, where they go, what they think. Yeah, because you will be able to indict them for something. And yet these folks got all that power, and they're going, let's just see. Oh, 1988. Yeah, he was $3 short on his taxes. Let's bring him in. Anything. And then knowing that they can't really convict, but they can just string it out. They can ruin your reputation. They can make sure your life is miserable. They will beat you for all your money, all of that crap, and try to force you into a plea deal. This right here is mob tactics, man. However, it's being used by what used to be considered a legal part of our justice system. And I don't like it.
Don't do that. That's not the American way.
Uh-oh. What's this?
A new report says that Hunter Biden's lawyer claimed in a message that Trump's indictment will continue. He said this: don't worry if you missed the Trump news. There will be three more over the next few weeks. Mark, what I'd like to know is, how does Hunter Biden's lawyer know any of this about the next investigation or the next DA that's going to drop an indictment on Trump? Is the White House behind all of this?
Yes. When you look at Hunter Biden, I mean, he would be an absolute nobody if Joe Biden wasn't his father.
And he's still a nobody. He's nothing but a rich, privileged, snotty nose, cocaine nose, crack habit, rotten teeth, sitting up there half naked, picture taken in drawers and a dang on scarf, sunglasses on, thinking he's sexy with that Benny Hill body of his. That's all he is, man. And yet is not in jail. Unbelievable.
But it seems like this guy, he's so well connected. He's got everybody in his back pocket.
All
he's
crackheads got
the
those
FBI,
connections.
he's got prosecutors, he's got, the social media companies all in his back pocket protecting him. I mean, he's got more allies than an organized crime family does. It's nuts.
Great analogy. Organized crime family. Drop that subliminal in there because that's exactly what they are. And so many of these Democrat politicians are part of that family. So, yeah, because I know if it was me and they found a laptop with all of that obvious evidence on it, I would be done. It wouldn't take them 7 years to process this whole thing. However, still working on it. It's an ongoing investigation, hoping that one day it just fades off into the memories of people. See, these are the type of things that I see and I say, it take that long? I mean, why am I so far ahead of the prosecutors that's looking into the Biden family? You're telling me I got more information right now that I could take them to court and try the case more than people with money, people with resources, people with a team. You're telling me it's taking them that long to build the case against these folks? They are the dumb criminals. They leave all of the evidence just out in plain sight. And yet they are still walking through it slowly. We're still digging. We want to make sure. I'm like, can somebody hurry it up? At some point, Joe's going to be dead. Now, granted, he'll probably have to spend eternity paying for some stuff. However, I don't want to see that. I want to see him start to pay before he gets there. He needs a double dose. A double dose. They waiting until the guy kicks the bucket. Then they'll probably go, we were just about to convict him.
Well, to your point, yes, I do think, obviously, this has a lot to do with the White House and President Biden.
Yes. There were 40 different undercover agents at least in the audience during January 6th, and they behaved criminally.
What, Benny? You know what, Benny? I got to give you a shout out. Oh, yeah. If my mic still works, I don't know if it works, y'all. Oh, here we go. Benny. Benny. Benny, and the truth. That's right. So y'all hear that? More corruption. 40. Then other sources say it was 50. And that's just the ones we know. Now, us conspiracy theorists been saying that all along. But for some reason, nobody wants to even bring that up. I mean, it was obvious when they were asking that bootleg FBI director, was there anybody in that crowd that was an FBI agent or a resource? I can't answer that. Was anybody in that crowd a federal agent participating in crime? I can't answer that. When you start saying stuff like that, everybody's antennas should have went up. And that chick bounced from the FBI soon after. Like, I don't even want to be around when this all blows up. So now we find out that us crazy ultra MAGA conspiracy theorists was right again. So 40 of them, Benny.
Yes, the Fedsurrection has been confirmed. New bombshell filing, the Proud Boys trial, writes Julie Kelly. Defense writes that DOJ just recently disclosed involvement in undercover officers and informants for other agencies. FBI and DC Metro Police had at least 40 undercover informants. 40 undercover informants? My God, were there actually any MAGA supporters in this crowd, or was it all?
Probably not. Just like when they tried to set us up for that second insurrection. Remember those feds, y'all, was up there in Washington waiting, y'all, waiting. Where's my thing going? Yeah. They was playing their roles as MAGA folks, waiting for us all to come up there. Their glasses and their macchiatos and their tight come get me shorts on and polo and that stuff. That's right. We're over on the west wing right here. We're waiting for the MAGA folks to get here. Yes, we're in costume. We're dressed exactly like conservatives. Absolutely. They all wear come get me shorts. They don't? Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Well, what about the glasses? No? Okay. What? They can see me talking into my microphone? They can see the earpiece in my ear? Well, darn it, Jim. That's what we saw. And it was all them. Whole crew of them. None of us showed up. So, and you know what else? Y'all almost forgot this. How about them having more FBI agents trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmore than the actual people that they were trying to recruit to kidnap Gretchen Whitmore. So it sounds to me as if their whole goal and objective is to create a false image of us radical extremists by planting all of these agents and encouraging folks to participate in this stuff, and then going, I don't know what you're talking about. Wasn't me. These folks, those are the ones. Unreal. Now, I've been saying this the whole time, y'all. When it come down to that whole J6 thing, I don't feel like there was any real legitimate Trump supporters who participated in that. I think it was a combination between two groups of people, the feds and Antifa and Black Lives Matter. And I'll justify that shortly.
Oh, just feds. They're all feds. That's why it's so easily mocked. You have now some of the footage coming out that is just bananas.
I love
Let's go. This is footage from an undercover agent.
An undercover agent? Wait. Did y'all hear that? That's an undercover agent said, go ahead, push him up. Now, this is why I know this was all bootleg. Even some of the leaders of the Proud Boys were undercover agents. If you came across a plot as an FBI agent, the goal is to go in undercover and prevent the crime from happening, to stop it before it happens. I had a friend in Cincinnati, I won't call her a friend, but she was an associate, went to prison for 6 years trying to pay a hitman to kill her boyfriend. Now I'm thinking, what did this man do? You must have broke her heart in a million pieces and then ran the kick game on it. I'm talking that heart was laying down unconscious and he was winding up on it. For you to say, I got to kill this man. So they send in an undercover and the guy, he sells it. They try to give you enough time to change your mind. Now, you sure you want to do this? All right, let's meet again next week. Now, the whole goal is to see how far you're willing to go with this before they stop you. See, that's the whole goal. I'm going in undercover. So I'm saying, yep, she gave me the gun. She gave me the money. She told me where this dude was at. Now send in the boys. What I don't do is say, let her go, have the dude killed, and then we'll prosecute her. The goal is to stop things, not encourage them, not sit back and let them happen, prevent the crime. But for some reason, all of these FBI agents that claim they were involved with these groups never really had a crime to stop because they never said anything about a plot. But yet, instead of just being innocuous, they participated in it. So you hear that guy? Let's hear more.
Help me break this. Come on, let's go.
Come on,
leave it.
Go. So let's break this down. This is super important. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Very curious. What's going on here is this is a undercover Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, officer who is encouraging violent and or criminal behavior. Very important to note that this Proud Boys trial that Julie Kelly is covering here is just a very rare circumstance where the only circumstance, let me correct that, where somebody is being charged with actual violent insurrection. They say that the Proud Boys planned to do this. That's the trial. This trial is getting absolutely blown open. I think they're regretting doing that now. The feds are clearly spying on the defendants. We've been covering that. The feds are clownish and making misstep after misstep in this trial. And in discovery, we're able to get footage like this that proves that there were federal agents or plainclothes officials, officers of the law that were in the audience encouraging criminal behavior.
And this is our government, y'all. This is done by agencies that we pay money to support, to set up and frame American citizens. That is why, man, this is a do or die election. Do or die. Those agencies got to go. And here's the scary part. Imagine all of these things that were done way before this came out. I'm talking way before Trump and all that. God knows what these folks have done in the past to our own country and our own citizens. We're just now figuring it out because it's being directed at us. I mean, I hate to say it. I probably done went along and supported stuff throughout the past that I'm like, honestly, at this point, I'm like, I don't know how. I mean, it looked like they did it, but who knows? I mean, could have been like 8 dudes in there putting it together. So they got to go. So now, why aren't they in jail with the rest of these insurrectionists?
Which is what's going on here. When this guy's saying, go, 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 get up the scaffolding. Look at them. They're climbing onto Capitol property there. What that's showing is it's showing entrapment because they actually charged most of these J6ers with trespassing.
Unreal. Now, wait a minute. Well, since Mayor Garland, Mayor Garlic, and Christopher Raggedy Ray, let's help Raggedy Rat Ray and Mayor Garlic find all of these criminals, okay? Because word on the street is they're going after about another 600 to 1,000 or something. So since they seem to not be able to find all of the criminals and can't find the crime, and they don't know how to put together a case, and there's Hunter Biden's laptop that fell in their lap, but some reason they just can't piece it together. So as a citizen, I think I should help them out. I'm going to be a snitch and see what I can do to help them do their jobs. So let's see. Here's one of the suspects. Oh, here's one right there. John Sullivan, a.k.a. BLM Antifa. Yeah, look at him right there, dressed and all of that. But oh, hey, there's the black mask that all Trump supporters, when they go to rallies, bring. Full-blown gas mask. You didn't know that was a part of our MO? Every single time that we go to a rally, we bring our MAGA hats, we bring our big old Bibles, got to have that. Our AK-47s and our, AR-15s and a gas mask. What's wrong with you? Where's your gas mask? So there he is. Just in case Ray didn't see this, I want to make sure I could send the pictures to him because they can go get this guy right now. But they're going after some other people, maybe some grandmothers and stuff. So Ray, if you're watching, Garlic, if you're watching, here's one. I'm doing my job as a citizen. There's his face right there. I'm doing my job as a citizen. He's a suspect. Go get him. Who else? Let's see. Oh, there he is right there. Right before the whole J6 thing, talking about, I'm going to go over to that White House and drag Donald Trump, that MFer, out that house. We're going to burn it down. Burn it down. This right here was just as in the open as that Bigfoot on camera talking about the Capitol. So here's one for you, Raggedy. Let's see what else. Help him do his job. Okay. Oh, here's one, y'all. The mystery window lady. Now, I'm sure she's in custody right now. Code name, unknown. Most likely, Democrat agent. Let's see about this mystery lady. See if we can send this footage. What's the floor plan?
There's a door to the right.
There's a door to the right. Now look at all of those Trump supporters right there. All of us Trump supporters. We come there like that. Stringy long hair, all young kids in there, and somebody's yelling out, what's the floor plan? Now, forget going after the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys, I'm sure, didn't have dang on floor plans to the Capitol. So now they're asking the floor plans. Look at that. Oh, there you go. There you go. You see these folks right there? Gas mask, dressed in all black like the Omen. Looks like Trump supporters, right? All young.
Doors already open. We just need a plan. We need
covering their face. We need a plan. You think that guy right there is a Trump supporter? Why isn't this guy right here in prison? Why is this dude on camera right here with a gas mask on his face as if he came to do this damage? That's a Antifa MO. They always roll up on the set with their gas mask on, face covered, all of them up in there, covering their face. Only people who do that is terrorists or crooks and criminals. But yet they're going after all the ones that were just walking around taking selfies. I mean, Trump supporters aren't dumb criminals. If we really came to do that, we wouldn't be taking selfies and walking around looking all but yet these dudes did this. Came in ready, man. What else they do?
enough people.
Oh, look at that. Definitely a Trump supporter right there. You see, about maybe 19, 20, full-blown ski mask on, dressed in all black, being quarterbacked by this lady. Now, my question is this. Do you think that this amount of Trump supporters would be in some room with gas mask, face covered, and being led by some lady in a window with floor plans, telling them what to do and what they have to do? Do you think that's our style? I mean, how does she put this group together? I mean, you got to be kidding me. Did they all just fall in line? And if they're looking for somebody who kind of planned this and quarterback this, then why not her? Because she sounds like a leader. Listen to her.
We need to push forward.
Oh, we need to push forward. Look at them putting on their gas mask. Wow. All young.
Okay.
Who's that? Okay.
Hey guys, I've been in the other room. Listen to me.
What did she just say? What did the lady with the bullhorn just say? Hey guys, I've been in the other room. Listen to me. How did you get in that other room? Who are you? Why are you quarterbacking this from a window? Why do they all just respond to her? Why are they all listening to this lady?
In the other room on the other side of this door, right here where these are standing. They're
In the other room on the other side of this door. But this is supposed to be just unscripted, right? How does she know that? Why isn't she brought in? Her voice is right there on camera. Her face is right there. Ray, y'all guys need some help? I'm here for you. I'm here to help you guys track down all of these insurrectionist terrorists.
Are they glass?
Oh,
There's somebody in it.
look at that. Look, guys. That's her face right there. No facial recognition for her. Nobody's doing anything with the clothing. All right, I find out where that hat was sold. None of that. How about voice recognition? How does she know this? See, this is the stuff that I get mad about, because even in these hearings, when I see Jim Jordan and all of them, they bring up some excellent points, but none of them show this stuff. You cannot tell me that this woman should not be drug in somewhere. She's a leader. She's doing the same thing that John Sullivan did. She's doing the same thing that Bigfoot did. And yet these folks aren't the face of the insurrection. How is that? Let's find out more about this mystery lady in the window.
It's broken. You can drop down into her.
Oh my God. Now this woman's clairvoyant. It's broken. You can drop down. Now she's not even in the building. She's not even in the building. How does she know this? Where'd she get the bullhorn from? See, these are things that if you got any bit of common sense, unreal. Say, why don't they have this footage? That's my question. Because I've had this footage for over 2 years, ever since this thing happened, and much more than that. And yet, even Tucker didn't have this. If they want to solve this case, they can call me, because I got all the footage backed up. They ain't going to, because I don't want them going in and sneaking my footage. And y'all, if something happened to me and I disappear, I'm not suicidal. Let's continue.
Room underneath it.
Oh,
There's also 2 doors in the other room.
Wow. How does she know? There's also 2 doors in the other room. I need to know who this lady is. I'm sorry. I need to know why she knows the layout and the plans of the Capitol building. Now, this right here is unbelievable. That's why I don't even believe one word of the J6 thing. I even get upset when I hear Republicans say, well, yeah, a couple of our people got out of hand. No, none of our people got out of hand. I do not believe not one Trump supporter egged that on, participated in it. These are not our people. And now we find out there's agents.
And one to the right when you go in. So people should probably coordinate together if you're going to take this building.
You people should probably coordinate together if you're going to take this building. Now that sounds like an insurrection. Taking the building, coordinating together with the bullhorn, knowing all the layout and plans of the building. How does she know that? I mean, did she study those floor plans? Is she a mole? Do she work in the Capitol building? She's giving specifics, y'all. She's not winging it. She's not going, all right, somebody go look for whatever. She's like, all right, look, go 30 feet. You'll see on the left-hand side, there's a knob and there's a button. Here's the code to get in that 531725. This woman knows too much about the Capitol for her to just be spur of the moment. We just decided to launch an insurrection right now because we're mad. This woman is a plant.
We got another window to break, make it in and out easy. And this window here.
need to be broken. She's telling them what needs to happen. We need to take the building. We need to overthrow some things, flip stuff over. Things need to be broken just to make it look like it was nuts. It was crazy. It was an insurrection. Create the perception of things being out of control. This is unreal, man. And I'm burning up every time I watch this and I go, nobody sees this. Nobody showed the footage of the fat cop who told the people to hold up before they came through the door. These same young people, when they were coming in the door, and the fat cop told them to hold up for a second. Let me go get my baton. Now, come on. Nobody shows that footage. Unreal. Oh, what? Oh, we need more people. Now look at that. All of those face covered, those skinny young men in there do not look like our people. I've been to many rallies, never seen a whole bunch of folks in there dressed like that, looking like that. Skinny dudes. With only time I've seen them, it'd be one or two. And guess what they do? They wait until Trump starts speaking, and then they jump, pull their shirt off, and start acting a complete fool to get themselves drug out and then blame Trump for being a racist. This is a conspiracy that is on a whole nother level, y'all. And I'm upset that this should be played on every show. We should be demanding, who is this woman? Look at him. All Antifa. Look at this guy. He looks like he's second in charge. Yeah. And watch this. He got his gas mask, because all Trump supporters bring their gas mask to rallies. What are you doing? Give me some narrative. Look at that. Look for yourself. Look for yourself. There it is. There it is. Instead of putting a MAGA hat on, he goes straight to the go-to. Our very well-known gas mask that John Sullivan was advertising and said, hey guys, this is what you need when you go in. You want to have a gas mask? Okay. And I didn't purchase one of them for rallies. Do you think any of the real Trump supporters came there just so happened to have a gas mask on them? That's Antifa. Bottom line, Antifa and maybe some Black Lives Matter people sprinkled in. Look at that. Oh, you see the helmet? You see that guy right there? There you go. When's the last time you saw a Trump supporter at a rally with a full-blown helmet on? If you're not riding a bike, okay, you don't need that helmet on. This is unreal. Ray, are you out there? Hey, I need to hear back from Garlic and Raggedy Ray, because they must have not seen this footage. Look at that young skinny person. Look at them all just doing stuff right there to make it look like, yeah, it's an insurrection. They're not really doing a whole bunch of damage. They're creating a crime scene. That's what they're doing. Flipping stuff over. Don't really do too much, y'all. Just make it look like, yeah, this was an insurrection. They don't even know what to do. Take a couple cords out. Oh, yeah, you see all those skinny young men? You see all those skinny young men? Where's this? I don't understand it. Why aren't they seeing this video, man? Unreal.
That could be like all right, just use it as a battering ram.
Use it as a battering ram. All the faces covered, all young. Oh, Ray, if you're watching, we ain't gonna get through this show tonight. We have to come back and do the rest tomorrow. But I'm trying my best to help solve the case, y'all. Because remember, our whole democracy was in jeopardy. They were about to overthrow our whole country. That's what they were about to do. Yeah. And we want to contribute as a citizen to help bring all of these insurrectionists and domestic terrorists to justice. Now, I don't have facial recognition. I'm not sitting in an office with a team of folks that are going after 600 to 1,000 more Trump supporters. I'm not in there with that. I'm a guy at the crib, and I'm trying to help Ray and them out because apparently they're paying their team for nothing. Apparently, all of their facial recognition can't find these people. So I'm bringing it out to them. Here's another one. Ray Epps, codename Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or the Yeti. In.
We need to go into the Capitol. Let's go!
Now, you know what he sounds like? He sounds like that lady. If we're going to take this building, sounds like a guy who knows the plan. That's what he sounds like. Sounds like that cop that was telling him, let's go, keep climbing, keep going. That's what that sounds like.
I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail.
I'm probably going to go to jail.
Tomorrow.
But tomorrow,
Into
the Capitol. As if this dude is not going to be seen or noticed. Towering over the whole crowd. That's why he got the nickname Bigfoot. Dang on it. Out there, the Capitol. Now, if you really want to find out who helped coordinate an insurrection and was responsible for it, how about the people who said, one, the lady in the window who had the nerve to say, if we're going to take this building, how about John Sullivan who said, burn that sucker down? How about Bigfoot right here that's saying, tomorrow we got to go in it. Did Trump say any of that? Did Trump say, hey guys, go over and take the Capitol tomorrow? Did Trump say, go over and go into the Capitol? Did Trump say, hey, here's the floor plans. Go through these things and go upstairs and make sure and coordinate and bring them all together. You know, if we're going to take the building. Did Trump say any of that? But these nasty, stinking, corrupt politicians and these agencies put all this crap together and want me to believe that this was an insurrection. One of the most dangerous things that ever happened in our country. Just like 9/11. So let's finish here in Bigfoot because Ray Epps right now still running around free. The Yeti got away. Best footage we've ever gotten on a Bigfoot. Best and clearest footage. We now know they exist. And yet they're doing nothing to capture this guy. No! Peacefully. You see him try to change up his game when they all rejected the Bigfoot? No! He's like, oh, okay. Oh, shoot. I want to peacefully go into the Capitol. But he's free. He's free. Unbelievable. Peacefully.
A lot of them are charged as trespassing and or disruption of an official event. Disruption of an official event, you might say. Well, it looks like the police officers here are encouraging the disruption of an official event and, moreover, encouraging the trespassing.
What?
Yup. Watch this one.
Drain the swamp.
Oh, drain the swamp. That's coming from a cop, y'all.
Drain the swamp.
This is a police officer's body cam footage.
So you're gonna get people with the goggles on the 25th.
Hey, buddy, you look like Antifa. You know, you look like someone who doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
Says presumably one of the actual peaceful protesters. And the cop laughs. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
Looks like you don't belong
You know
here.
why?
You look like someone who is fake MAGA sneaking in here to try and make us look bad.
And that's exactly what they were. So somebody pointed him out just like they pointed the Bigfoot out. No, fed. So if I'm understanding this, the footage I didn't show y'all were John Sullivan, before the rally was even over, before Trump sent all of the folks to go over and peacefully let their voices be heard, John Sullivan and a whole crew of young people built similarly, all running into the Capitol, and John's recording his crimes like all dumb Democrats do, talking about we're accomplishing stuff, we're taking this mug, we're making stuff happen. And guess what? All the people running with him and beside him all agreed. Somehow they all was okay with this. Unreal. Now, that guy who talked about ripping Trump out the White House, you think he would have been running in a big old crowd of MAGA folks and they all agreeing with him? He was running with the other Antifians and Black Lives Matterers, talking about we're taking this bad boy. Taking it. Now, here's a group of them right there. They're peeping him out. Dude, you don't look like you belong here. You look like you're from Antifa or something. Unreal.
Well, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, that's precisely what they did.
Oh.
They behaved criminally, these individuals, and now we're starting to learn the results of their criminal activity. It's so embarrassing that uniformed police officers actually stopped plainclothes police officers that day.
Oh, well, look at this.
Give me a second. Just doing a little investigation.
Just a little investigation.
Asking this respectfully. Is anyone on? Anyone?
Yes, we're all police.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I mean, could that be the lady in the window? She was the only one without a gun right there. The rest of them were undercover cops. Maybe that's the lady in the window. I mean, we'll never know, will we? Because, see, apparently they didn't get hold to the footage of the lady in the window telling everybody what to do and where to go.
Police? Yeah, law enforcement. Yeah. Over your credentials?
Hey, we're all police. We're all law enforcement. And then they whip out their credentials.
Appreciate it.
Look at it. Are you armed?
Oh, so there were armed people.
Are you all armed?
We did have armed insurrection.
They're all armed. So the armed insurrection was actually just the police officers.
I want Sean Hannity's salary. I love Tucker, but I want his salary. I want Christopher Wray's salary. I want Garland's salary, because right now I'm proving the case more than them, trying to help them out. Now, especially Christopher Wray and Bootleg Garland. They are worthless, because if I'm sitting here watching this video and seeing these clips and showing y'all this, and you telling me those folks ain't drug in yet? You telling me they just gaslit all of those people about the Bigfoot Ray Epps and say he's cooperating? That guy actually is a victim. As we sat there watching, say, tomorrow we gotta. This is crazy, man. This is the stuff that I say all those agencies must be eliminated, period, because they're trying to distort what's real and what's not.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, Gestapo, ladies and gentlemen, Gestapo, state police. They're setting you up. This was a setup. Julie Kelly was on Laura Ingram's show last night saying that the discovery of these 40 different officers, and that's not even encompassing all of them. There could be many, many more. This discovery itself is essentially blowing the hole inside of the new prosecutions, and that people will get out of jail for this.
Yeah.
I've seen Jacob Chansley released this past week. Jacob Chansley will be a free man, according to the schedule, in the middle of May.
Justice and FBI can't stoop any lower. They find a new bottom. They had an FBI informant ingratiating herself with not just a few of the defendants in this case, with their attorneys, with their family members. And this FBI informant worked for almost 2 years, really at the start of the investigation, all the way through the beginning of the trial.
Now, it turns out that that was just the tip of the iceberg. We just learned what else the government was doing to January 6 defendants. Government court filings in the case against a Kansas man charged that day revealed 3 police officers were caught instigating the crowd, chanting and urging them to go into the Capitol.
It ain't right, James. In the words of Florida Evans, it ain't right, James. So they got folks locked up in prison right now. And if it wasn't for them suing for this evidence, and they still don't want to disclose how many are really involved and what agencies are. They're fighting this tooth and nail. And so 3 undercovers were encouraging the people to go in. Trump didn't do that. I'm just wondering, if Trump did not do that and you had armed undercover agents for whatever agency they come from, and they were doing that, that is the actual definition, according to the Democrats, of instigating an insurrection. But yet they jump all the way over all of these cops doing that, and they're going after Trump. Never said anything close to it. Never said, hoist them up. Never said, if we're going to take the building, go down there 3 steps, there's a door, and they drop that. And didn't say that. Didn't get up there and say, and yet, for some reason, those people, just like the fire in my example earlier, all of that burning around you, and I'm going to go over there and focus on the picture on the wall and get that out of here. See, this is the stuff, man, that makes the country so divisive, because one side of the country is going, you guys are abusing us. When I'm able to try this case right now, and yet they can't. For some reason, they can't find these people.
Boom, shaka, laka.
Boom,
this is
shaka,
why
laka.
the Proud Boys attorney is trying to unmask all of the informants during January 6th.
Including Nancy Pelosi. She need to take that raggedy plastic mask off her face, because it looks like she's wearing one every day. However, hers looked like it was burnt up. So here she is. She needs to be drug into. Why aren't they subpoenaing her? She was over security. Why aren't the Republicans right now saying, we want you to come in and tell us why you turned down all of this additional security Please. Why didn't you listen to the agencies that said we could have some violence? Why didn't you do that, Nasty?
The attorney for the Proud Boys recently called on the U.S. government to unmask all informants, undercover agents involved in January 6th Capitol riots. A motion on Wednesday, the attorney for the Proud Boys member, Dominic Piazzolla, compelled the government to reveal all informants, undercover operatives, and any confidential human sources relating to the events of January 6th.
So guys, just when you think that our FBI or these agencies can't get any lower, we just heard the lady. We just heard the lady on Laura Ingraham say, I mean, can they get any lower? Well, yes, they can. How low can they go? Can they go down low? And we're going to end with this and finish up the rest tomorrow.
You know, Yaki, we talk a lot about just how bad it gets with the weaponization of the federal government against those of you who, you know, may believe in like lower taxes and crazy things like
American things.
Less government and stuff.
Patriotism.
It gets worse, I feel like, every day. Here's another example of that. The Heritage Foundation submitted a FOIA request and found that the FBI uses...
There they go again. Why is it that this agency keeps popping up? FBI. Why are they sprinkled in every controversial situation that later on we find out they were behind it? This is right. This is bothering me, man. It's messing with my Agent Orange. It's acting up. See? It's messing with my Rambo on the inside. They drew first blood. So Gretchen Whitmore, they were involved in that. Okay. Then they tried to even do it in Virginia. Crazy. Then we find out they were sprinkled all through that crowd, right? Not to mention them trying to set Trump up as a Russian agent and lying on a FISA. But you know what? If you listen to MSNBC or CNN, you're attacking an upstanding agency that's just trying to simply, adhere to the law. Those agencies are completely corrupted by the Democrat Party. They are using these agencies to bring forth their diabolical scheme, cover up all their crimes and corruption, and go after all of their dang on opponents, all of their enemies. And now, what else are they doing?
Some dozen words to flag violent extremism, some of those.
Whoa. So they're coming up with another hit list of words that constricts us in our freedom of speech so that they can use these words and say, these are trigger words. If you hear these words, could be someone who might end up being a radical terrorist or something. So we need to go ahead and come up with words. Now, I guarantee you, as you hear this list, you're not going to hear words that Antifa or Black Lives Matter say. The first word that should be up there is Black Lives Matter. Yeah, you're not hearing any of that. Listen to the words. Now, I want you, after listening to them, tell me, what group of people you think these words apply to?
On social media are Chad. Boy, Chad Prather's in trouble. Looks maxing. It's over. What? Roasty. Normie. Blue pill, red pill, black pill, based, and LARPing. So they define these terms along with other terms that are like, they lump these in with terms that are decidedly racist and link the slang terms to racist ideas. And the FBI's Domestic Terrorism Reference Guide on Involuntary Celibate Violent Extremism offers a threat overview for incels that aims to identify them by the slang that they use. Boy, I lost track of how many watch lists I am probably on because I have used multiple one of those terms. But, what do I know? I'm just a violent right-wing extremist.
Absolutely. Same here. So you see what they're doing, right? They are setting the stage and the groundwork, y'all. They're using their power. They ain't bringing up any keywords that you hear the new transgender violent insurrectionists / murderers who's out there talking about. Right now, they're trying to make us unexist. This is a genocide. We need to fight back with violence. And they're not using any of those. How about all of the items that they put together on the other list that they got caught of? Yeah, with the snake and the Betsy Ross flag and come and take it. All of those items that would be on a list that might lead someone to become an extremist, all were things that conservatives either say or use. Now, where's the other list? Where's the list that shows equality? Where's the list that shows the real radical left who's running around, burning up places, breaking into places, looting, stealing, robbing, shooting, but for some reason Merrick Garlic can't find them because they do it at nighttime with their faces covered like real terrorists do. But they can go after the peaceful protesters who come out with their face shown because they're not terrorists. All the people who walked into the Capitol without a gas mask on or black hood on were going in because the doors were open or cops encouraged them, whether it was cops in uniforms or cops undercover, and the doors are wide open. And they still conducted themselves like they had sense. But notice the ones that was dressed in all black, helmets on, face covered. They conducted themselves like the same people we see conducting themselves throughout the last 4 to 5 years. Antifa. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it, Ray. God bless y'all. God bless America. I hate to do it to them like this, but that's why they do stuff like they do to me by making me my other channel, man. I'm mad about it, y'all. So thank y'all for coming over here, checking out the show tonight. I ain't done with it. My other channel, I'm assuming it's a 7-day suspension, but I got more evidence. So you got to come back tomorrow. Tell everybody you know. Dude, here's the link. If people can't find me, take the very link from this and send it to them so they can subscribe. I need that subscriber list on this channel to go up like tonight. Okay. So help me out if y'all can, for real. And I'll be back here tomorrow and I'll figure out when I'm going to be reinstated on my other channel. I'm madder than a mug over that, y'all. Ooh. But I'm madder over what I just showed y'all and nothing's happening to these people. That's what really makes me mad. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I appreciate y'all. This one right now, this channel don't have a super chat yet. However, you're always welcome to help out with the channel. My Cash App and PayPal, all that stuff. It's in there. I don't even know if I put a description in this channel yet. So I'm still building it. So God bless y'all. God bless America. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Take care. I can't wait because I ain't finished with their butts.